Hi, and welcome to Springboard Family Workshop number 2. My name is Miss Cullivan, and I am a second grade teacher at Cobbett Elementary School. I've been teaching for 26 years, and I am also the program leader for the Springboard program here at Cobbett. Thank you for taking your time out to watch this video, and at the end, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. You can reach me by text or by calling 781-484-9988. So this is our second family workshop, and this one is called Take a Book Walk. So here's our plan for today. First, we're going to review a couple of things, and then we're going to get right into the reading tip. I want you to remember that every child learns to read in a different way. But when we put our heads together and we share our knowledge and we help your child together, it's really going to give your child the reading boost and cultivate a joy of reading. So your child has a reading goal that you established when you filled out the survey at the beginning on the Connect app. In tutoring sessions, the tutors and I are working with your children on skills that are going to help them achieve those goals. At home, you're working with your child on the same skills and strategies that are going to help them reach that goal. So the hope is that with your child practicing with us after school and then practicing with you at home, it's going to give your child that boost in reading that we're all hoping for. If at all during this video you would like to write down or jot down some notes, feel free to do that. Also, if you have any questions, please write them down during the video, and then you can contact me or your child's tutor, and we'll get back to you and clarify any of your questions. So at this point, if you need to go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, feel free to pause the video now or at any time while you're watching it to get what you need, and then you can start the video when you're ready. The strategy that we're going to talk about today is a strategy that you use before you even start reading the book. And I always tell boys and girls when I'm teaching is that good readers don't just pick up a book, open it, and just start reading the words. They take some time before they even start to read to think about what happens in the book. Now, you and I, who are fluent readers, we just do that naturally. You know, you see a book, you see the title, you see the cover, and you're already thinking in your head what this book's going to be about. Maybe you've already decided whether you think you're going to enjoy it or not. Children don't always do that naturally, so they need to be taught that skill. Some children do it naturally, but not all children do. So this is a strategy that you want to teach them to do before they even read. You're investing a little bit of time before you start reading to set up your reader for a successful reading time. When you take the time to look through the book and examine the pictures, you and your child are more likely to talk about some of the words that you're going to find in the book. For example, say your child does not know how to read the word roller coaster, but they see a picture of one during the book walk. Now you might say, oh, there's a roller coaster. Or they might say, look, there's a roller coaster. Then when they see this long word in the story that starts with the letter R later on, when they're reading, they will be more likely to remember that word from the book walk. And this is going to help them with their vocabulary, and it's going to help them with word solving skills and even the comprehension of the story. Sometimes when children are struggling to just read the words, they don't have enough time to also understand what the words mean. So if they know that that big word that starts with an R is a roller coaster, then they can really put their effort and their brain power into understanding the rest of the sentence instead of just what the word that starts with R. Also, when you're taking that book walk, it's going to help with the understanding of the whole story or the text. If the book is teaching your child about bugs and they have seen all different kinds of bugs in the book, then they're going to understand that the reason why they're reading this book is to learn about bugs and the many different kinds of bugs. It's going to activate what we call their prior knowledge, which is their background knowledge, the things they already know about what they're reading about. It's going to help them engage with the text more, understand it more. They have an idea of what they think is going to happen in the story. They're more involved, and they're more likely to have a better understanding of it. And we know that if you don't understand what you read, it's really not enjoyable. Okay, and so when kids are struggling to comprehend what the words they're reading, it's not fun. And then they say things like, I don't like to read. So we do want to set them up so that they can have a positive, enjoyable experience with the book, because we really do want them to love to read. And now don't worry if what you're reading with the child you don't know anything about either. So if you open a book about snakes and you don't know anything about snakes, don't worry about it. Go through the book with your child and just have a conversation about the pictures. Just talking about what you see in the pictures is going to help deepen their understanding of what's going on in the book. All right, so there are 3 steps when you take a book walk. Okay, the first one is to touch the pages. So when you're looking at even at the cover of the book, touch the book, touch the actual book, and talk about the pictures that are on the book. Ask your child, say what's actually happening in the book. So if they're saying, oh, I see a little boy, put your finger right on that book and circle the little boy. Or it looks like a city. They may need some help with this. I see this animal. And then you might want to tell them that's a seal. Maybe they have never seen a seal, or maybe they have and they remember now. We saw a seal at the aquarium. All right, so they see that. Okay, then you're going to go from page to page and you're going to look at the pictures. I see and ask your child, what do you see happening in this picture? And let them tell you. I see some men delivering some boxes. Don't worry about the words on the page right now. As a matter of fact, discourage them from reading the words. And it's a trick they need to learn how to do. What do you see happening in this picture? Well, I see a lot of seals and I see a fence around that. Maybe they're at a zoo or at an aquarium. And you'll go through page by page by page. And for some books, you may feel like that took a very long time. And depending upon when bedtime is or when you're making dinner, a picture walk may be what you just do for Monday. And you might finish that picture walk with them, and that you may have talked about everything you think is going to happen, and then you might say, now we're going to put this book away till tomorrow. They might not want to put that book away because they want to read the book now to see what happens. That's okay. You've got them engaged, they're excited, and then maybe the next night is when you read the book to them. But you always do want to go back to the beginning and read the story. If you can't get through it in one night, that's okay. Pick up right where you left off. Do the picture walk, talk about all the pictures that happen, and then it might be bedtime. But you can think about it all night long about what's happening in the book, and tomorrow before bed, read it to them. If that's how your schedule works and time-wise, that's what you do. And we talked a little bit about asking questions in the last family workshop, and that how it's so very, very important to ask your children questions before they read, during their reading, and after their reading. Just make it like a conversation. Leave it open-ended. If you're a parent who likes to speak Spanish, it is perfectly fine to do a picture walk with your child and have a conversation in Spanish about what's going on in the book. That is okay. It helps develop their Spanish speaking skills, and if that is the language that you're most comfortable with, it is okay. It's perfect. So just a couple things while you're taking that book walk is to remember to feel and actually touch and look at the pictures. All right. Tell your child, we're going to take a book walk. Where should we start? We always start looking at the cover, right? We always start by talking about the title of the book, Sammy the Seal. That tells us, the title tells us that this book is going to be about Sammy the seal. Okay? What do we do with our hands and our fingers? Touch those books. Use your hands to point out what the child's talking about in the pictures. Okay? Encourage your child to point to them so that they are focused and seeing what you're saying. Talk about the picture. Some of the things you can say to them is, can you tell me what you see in this picture? When they say, oh, well, I see a lady with a ball. Okay, well, what else do you see? Encourage them to look closely, especially if it's a book that has a lot of details in the picture. If you have a lot of details in the picture, like this book has beautiful pictures. And this illustrator puts all these little pictures along the side as well. So when you're talking to your child and they're focused just right here, look closely. What do you see up here? What do you see over here? In this particular book that I'm familiar with, the pictures on the side always tell you what's going to happen on the next page. Talk to them about how the pictures changed from one page to the next. Ask them, what else do you see? Leave it open so that they just can say what they see and think. Ask them what they think's happening in the picture. Ask them, why do they think that? So if they say that they think let me get this one out for you. Oh, that you think that the cats are fighting in this picture. Why do you think they're fighting? Well, they have mad looks on their faces. They don't look happy. That's how you know. Great. Who is this in this picture? I think that's the mom. Why? Oh, well, she's in the kitchen and she has an apron on. How do you know that? Well, moms usually do all the cooking, right? You don't have to walk through the whole book, right? You can go through it a little bit quickly, depending upon how it's going and how much your child is enjoying it. But the important thing is to get to the reading part of it. So like I said, if you get to the picture walk in one day, just make sure the next day you go back and read it. You want the kids to make that connection between the picture walk and the actual reading of the words, okay? All right, now you are watching this family workshop because you were unable to attend the live version of our family workshop, which is fine. But in order to prove to us that you have watched the video, we have a secret code, which in this week's family workshop is Mickey Mouse. So what you just need to do is either text Miss Cullivan, my phone number is on the beginning of the video, or text your child's tutor, which I know you get texts from them all the time reminding you about tutoring, that you watched Family Workshop number 2, and the code is Mickey Mouse. And what we're going to do once we get that Mickey Mouse code is we're going to go to your child's Connect app. And we're going to give them points for you attending this. And their children get a lot of points for you attending these workshops. There are 5 in total. So if you attend all 5, your child's going to get a lot of points on the Connect app. When your child hits 1,200 points, 1,200 points, they are going to get prizes at the end of this tutoring session. And if they hit 1,600, 1,600, they will get more prizes. So there are 2 levels to the prizes. Unfortunately, if they do not reach the 1,200 point mark, they don't get any prizes. So you attending these workshops and letting us know that you attended them with the secret code is really going to help them. I'm going to talk to you a little bit at the end of this workshop also about other ways you can help your child earn more points. All right, so just to sum up what we were talking about today is before you read a book with your child, we'd like you to practice taking a picture walk. And some of the things I'd just like you to remember is, number 1, to touch the page and touch the book as you're talking to your child about the pictures. Ask your child to tell you what happened and what they see that's happening in the book. And once you're finished taking the picture walk, always remember to go back to the beginning of the book and read the book with your child. So this slide right here is just some extra questions for you. I know sometimes you get stuck and you don't know what to ask your child. So you can come back to this video or pause this video and write these questions down if you would like to keep some notes of things that you can ask them while you're reading. All right, so today's tip and the questions you ask are going to help your child become a better reader. There are 4 areas that we try to work with your child to improve their reading. The first one is figuring out how to read the words. The second part is fluency, making their voice sound like a storyteller and not like a robot. The third part is comprehending and understanding the story. And then finally, the last part is to enjoy and engage in the reading process. And although these are kind of in a circle like this, the learning of these 4 skills are all happening at the same time at different rates. So just because a child isn't very good at reading the words and decoding the words doesn't mean they can't enjoy and engage in a book that's being read to them, or they can't understand it. And just because a child can read wonderfully and sound like a storyteller when they read does not always mean they understand the words that they're reading. So all of these 4 pieces have to go together to make a fluent and strong reader. All right, now because you are participating in Springboard, your child has an A to Z account, which I'm pretty sure all of you are aware of that, but I'd just like to remind you that you do have, the kids have that, and it's a great place. There are tons and tons of books on there for them to read. So if you don't have books for them to read at home and for you guys to do picture walks with, you can do it online. And the part about touching the book, just put your finger right on the screen of the computer or the iPad, whatever you're doing. Beautiful full color pictures in lots of different levels of reading. So easier ones for kiddos that are struggling to read, all the way up to chapter books for kids who are stronger in their reading. Any trouble logging in or your child's password, please contact your child's tutor. All right, so one more thing I'd just like to talk to you about before I say goodbye, and that is the Connect app. Everybody has the Connect app, and it's really, really important that you start logging the amount of time your child is reading on this app. That's how they get their points. They get points by attending tutoring sessions. They get points by you attending the family workshops, but they also get a lot of points for practicing reading by themselves or with you. So if your child reads every day after school for homework for 15 minutes, you want to put that on the Connect app so they can start getting those points so they can win the prizes at the end. All right? Any trouble logging those points, or if you forget how to do it, please contact your child's tutor and they will be happy to help you do that. All right, you can follow us at these on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram if you'd like to see that. Sometimes there are different postings that are helpful to parents. And finally, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video, but more importantly, thank you so much for taking time out to help your child become a better reader. We appreciate it at Cobb School, and I know your child does. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.